Kobe Snacks Mills in the building.
I wasn't even thinking about me being on the show. I wanted to produce something for them.
Cool celebrity. Like if I went to the mall and stuff, people like, oh,
The thing was, I didn't even know that anybody ever thought I was ugly.
We look like twins almost.
Okay.
She really wouldn't be able
Covering any more subjects related. So that's why you got the raw reaction. This is pathetic. It's pathetic. Hey guys, welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I'm back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe. If you guys are in the chat, can you please let me know if you can hear me? If there is, I see there's just 2 people here so far. I'm pretty sure those are trolls. So as the moderators come through, please let me know if you can hear me, because I really wasn't going to go live about this. I really wasn't even going to talk about this, but I did my research today. And I actually looked into who this man is. I didn't even know who this man was. I knew nothing about this man. But after doing my research, because unlike a lot of you out here in this world, I actually do research before I speak on topics. I like to, do the history, go through the background, and kind of, get familiar with what I'm going to talk about. So as you come in, I'm gonna give people a chance to get in. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if the audio is good, because we're gonna get ready to get into some things about this brother Polight, this character who has been allegedly accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl. So as you come in, please let me know if you can hear me. And unlike usually, I don't watch Tasha K, okay? Because y'all know my issues with her. However, Tasha did a damn good job of dragging his ass, okay? She did a damn good job of dragging him. And she did a damn good job of outlining the problem in the Black community when it comes to young women being assaulted. Now that I will give her, because you guys know I am not a Tasha K fan. I'm not a Tasha K supporter. But in order to, research this topic and to understand what is going on in the streets, I had to watch her video, and I had to, see what he was responding to, because, everyone's saying, oh, he responded to Tasha. I'm not going to say he responded to her. He just basically said he can't talk about what's going on because, he's got a legal team and all this shit. We all know that. We all know that if a person is charged with things that they have not been found guilty of yet, it behooves them to be quiet. That don't make you innocent, okay? That just means you're being quiet. So all of this, I am appalled at the people that would be supporting this man and that would, be championing for him and would automatically think that there's something suspicious at play, okay? These people have said that this girl had, I can't probably really say it, but she had bodily fluids of his on her. So how is this not true? So we want to get into a few things, but I have to just, as I start out, I just wanted to, Tasha, she did a damn good job. That was a great live. That was a great video. And for once in her life, she really honed in on the problem. And it is a problem. So I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to all get acquainted with Mr. Polight. We're going to get acquainted with what he has been accused of, and then I'm going to let you know what I think about this. So we are going to share, I'm going to share this screen, and we're going to get into the mess, and then I'm going to let you know what the problem is with Mr. Polight and men like him. Okay, give me a second. I hate StreamYard. All right.
Well, he normally garners attention for his online posts, but now the social media influencer, motivational speaker, is making headlines for the wrong reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Wayne is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polight. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who said that these charges are false.
This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polight, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who lives in LA, asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately, groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up.
These are serious allegations, but in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career. Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrace says the police report is only an allegation.
And Nowak claims to have written more than 90 books. In an interview, he also claims to have several wives. For now, we're reporting live in Miami Beach. Kim Wynn, NBC6 News.
Okay. So apparently, from what I gather, when they arrested him, I guess there is evidence, DNA evidence, that the fluid recovered from her body is, I guess, linked to Brother Polight. I have a lot of questions, that comes to mind, but I'm not going to do that. As a human being, we all would have questions, but I'm going to believe this young woman. I'm going to absolutely believe her. I'm not going to come out the gate and say, oh, he has money, he's an influencer, and they want money. That's the motive. They want money. First of all, if something like this happened in February and they are just now serving him with a warrant in June, that's because it took that long for the DNA evidence to come back. It takes a while for those types of tests to be ran, and for the results of those tests, it takes a long time. It takes about, 4 to 6 months. It takes a long time for DNA evidence to come back. So I'm not surprised when you hear the argument that, well, this happened in February. Why are we just now hearing about it in June? Well, unlike, the public that believes that YouTube is a court of law. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like what you see on TV. And you know, I tell people this all the time when we do court document shows on my channel, and when we were talking about this case with Cardi B, everyone dragged me and said I didn't know what I was talking about, even though I was proving all of the time. I was doing the research and I was going over court documents. People want to believe what they see on TV, that this is how court actually works, that legal documentation, legal processes, it only takes an hour. By the time you are at the end of the episode, the person has been found guilty, they've been locked up and released, all in the same goddamn episode. And unfortunately, that's just not how life, you know, that's not how things go. So I absolutely believe that, you know, if this happened in February and they took this to the police and there was DNA evidence, they had to test it. They had things that they had to do. So that's not going to happen right away. Okay? It doesn't happen right away. So let me tell you the problem that now, so I watched Brother Polight's interview with Vlad. Okay. And I think he did this interview several years back. He did a couple interviews with Vlad. And I watched these interviews. Okay. In order to understand who this man is and understand his background. Now, I tell people all the time, I am 43. I've been around. I have been affiliated with a lot of different type of people in my life. I have come across a lot of different type of religious, conscious, all of that. I have been affiliated with 5%ers, the Nation of Gods and Earths, Muslims, Buddhists, all types of things I have been affiliated with. And the more that I listened to Dr. Polight, or Mr. Polight, whatever the hell he wants to be called, I started to pick up the theme of what his so-called consciousness. So in this interview with Vlad, he talked about, you know, his upbringing. And there was a lot of inconsistencies. If you pay attention to the interview, he's all over the place. He's really conning Vlad in the interview. If you listen to him and you listen to the interview, he's conning Vlad. If you watch it and you look at his mannerisms, he's conning Vlad in the interview. He's a con artist. This man is, he's one of those that he's charismatic, and he uses, you know, should I say fake woke consciousness. It's the same theme as Nature Boy. You know, they use the ignorance and the uneducation of Black people and people that are vulnerable, less educated. They use those type of people to push their agenda, and they, you know, to push their thought patterns and their revelations on those type of people. So I was watching the interview, and, you know, he talks about how he was 8 and in school and he didn't have a mother or father. His father had told him that his mom had died. He didn't have a mother growing up, but he was raised by his grandmother. His father left the home at 8. But it just didn't make sense. First off, how could your father leave the home at 8? And where did you go? Oh, were you always living with the grandmother? Or were you living with the father who left the house and you were by yourself? How did you get to the grandmother? So it's just a lot of different little things that I was just picking up in the interview. So then fast forward to he meets his mother at 17. He's having to be, no, let's go back a little bit. Nope, let's go back. I'm jumping too far ahead. Excuse me. So after the 8 years old, statement that his father left. He was being teased at school because the kids knew, and they called him an alien because the kids knew that he didn't have a mom or a dad. First off, how would children know your home life? How would kids know that you don't have a mom or a father? You're just at school. You know, when I was coming up, and I'm really close to his era and the time frame that he grew up. And I went to school every day, and people did not know what was going on in my household unless I told them. So I don't understand how kids would know and call you an alien for not having a mother or a father. How would they know that? How would they know that you don't have a mom or a dad? So that was a lie. I picked up on that. I'm like, no, that's a lie. Because this is what I'm getting at, and you're gonna see. Just let me paint the picture, because when I tie it all in, you're gonna see that this man has been conning people from the beginning. Okay, and I just picked this up just today. You know, I don't know who he is. I've never heard him speak prior to today. So everything that I watched and everything that I looked at, this man is a con artist. And whoever was conned by him, y'all are dumb. You deserved to be conned. Because if you can't see that this man is narcissistic and self-serving, then you deserve to be conned. Okay? You deserve to be conned. So he goes on in this interview, and he's talking about how he don't got a mom or a dad. And the dad had said that the mom wanted to get an abortion. And he made the mom not get an abortion. And he told him that the mom died. And so once the father left, he went and lived with the grandmother. And during the time of living with the grandmother, he was running the streets at 12 and 13 years old, and he got pulled in by gang members. He got pulled in by Crips. But he said this was the pivotal part of this interview. He said that he would go to a basement type club, and it was more like a strip club, but it was prostitution. His words were, it was opportunity for prostitution. This is what he said. It was opportunity for prostitution in this place, okay? And so he was, running with them, and he had opportunity to make money, and he would, take the money and take it to the hustlers that was in this place. It was just a lot. And then during this course of being in this place, he had intercourse with a woman on the top of a rooftop. The gang members, seeing that he was young and had never had sex, they went and got the neighborhood freak. This is what he said. These are his words. They went and got the neighborhood freak, and they took them up on the rooftop, and it was just them two. They had sex. He came really fast, and he made the girl stay up there for a little while longer because he didn't want them to know that he came so fast. First off, you're 12 and 13. Of course, you're going to come really fast because you're a kid. You don't know anything about sex. But he made it a point. If you watch him, he made it a point to hone in on the fact that he came really fast. I was like, okay, why was that such a pivot? Why was that such, why was that so important in that, it was just kind of freakish, creepy to me. Okay. So he goes on and he says that he's calling her sister. This sister, they went on to be close and he respected her and all of this. And if you watch his mannerisms and you look at his face, he's laughing, but he's making faces that Vlad would find welcoming and that Vlad would think would be funny, or that Vlad would be like, drawn. He's a con artist. This man knows about body language. He knows about how to manipulate people. See, when you manipulate and you groom and all of these things that this man does, it's all about the power of persuasion. It is all about what you perceive and what the other person perceives. Okay. And I'm telling you guys, hit that like button, hit that share, hit that subscribe, because I'm getting ready to drop some knowledge. Okay. When you are manipulated by someone, it doesn't have to be that they're going to do something bad to you. Okay. Anytime a person wants to bring you into their world and they want you to buy into what they selling, it could be game, it could be, objects, it could be anything, women, drugs, whatever it is, somebody wants you to buy into something, they got to persuade you, especially if you are already thinking and other things have been instilled in you. If you are a grown person, a child, anything, and you already have thoughts and morals and upbringings, things that you have already that have been indoctrinated into you already, they have to break that down. They have to dismantle that, and then they have to begin to build you up with their indoctrination. Okay? Are you guys following me? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you get where I'm going. So, as you watch him in this Vlad interview, if you're not a strong individual, you can absolutely get caught up by his charisma and by his boyish smile and the boyish grin and the almost naivety of, he's naive but then all at the same time, he'll flash to a stone cold face. All at the same time, in the midst of laughing and smiling and got the boyish grin, you see this face that can be a killer. When he talks about he went to jail twice for almost killing, for being accused of killing. He was accused of killing 2 people on 2 separate occasions. Okay? He also took over some man's building. I guess this man had an apartment building or whatever. And the family that would have inherited that, they, confronted him and they wanted their father's property. And in the process, a man got shot in the head. He was accused of it. And he went to jail, but he got out. Then another murder occurred and he went to jail and he got out. But during this second time that he was in prison for murder, he said, these were the important words. He said, I told my girl. Now, listen very carefully. He said, I told my girl, bring me all of my books. Bring me the books that the master teacher wrote. And he said, I got to come up with something. I got to come up with something. He said, I got to come up with something. Because if I can get out of this, I'm going to come up with something and I'm going to change my situation. Did you hear what I said? He said, I got to come up with something. And I heard that when he said that to Vlad, he said, he told himself, if I get out of this, I got to come up with something. And then I'm never going to be the same. I'm never going to go back to the life that I lived. So fast forward, he gets out. Who knows? Did he snitch? Did he tell? Did he, because a lot of people say, who knows what he's a part of? Well, who knows? How do you get out of murders? 2 murders, you beat both? Sounds a little suspect, but that's not for me to judge. I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. But he gets out of jail, and his girlfriend wants him to stop selling drugs. So she says, I'm going to work 2 jobs, and I'm going to give you the money. I'm going to keep a check for myself, and I'm going to give you the other check from the other job as long as you don't sell drugs anymore. Okay. This is what he says. So she's feeding him books, he says, and feeding him books and books. And these are conscious books, he says. And that's how he became conscious, from books and different books that he was reading. So do you know what that means? That means that from this book, he took a little bit of this, and from that book, he took a little bit of that, and from this book, he put this. And then what does that mean? That means that now I have come up with my own doctrine. And what is that? We all know that is cult 101. That is a leader of a cult 101. All right. Anytime a person takes the place of the Most High, okay. Now, it doesn't matter if you believe the Most High to be Jesus. Hey, Jane. Oh, you stepped out the bushes. They brought you out with that comment. Anytime a person replaces, and I told you guys this when we did the Jim Jones video, go on over there and check out the Jim Jones video that I have about the cult leader, Jim Jones. Anytime a person replaces God with himself or a Most High figure with themselves, that's a recipe for danger. That's a recipe for disaster. Because a person does not know what to do with that much power. And after a while, they misplace that energy and it becomes weird. It becomes creepy. It becomes sadistic. They don't know what to do with that energy when they have now found themselves in the position of a leader, and people are looking up to them, and people think that they got the plan, and people think that what they are, the bullshit that they're putting down, that is somehow, oh my God, it's magical. Oh my God, he's saying stuff that nobody, this man is not saying anything that no one before him has ever said. He told his own story, and you can go on over there and watch it on Vlad's channel. I am repeating his own words. He said that he went to jail for attempted murder and then murder twice. So you can go on over there and you can watch the interview. I am not repeating something that was not out of his own mouth. This is exactly, Miss Garner. This is regurgitated information because unlike some, I am not talking about his charges at the moment. So I think I encourage you to rewind and catch up. I'm not talking about his charges at the moment. I am talking about a man that would be considered to be conscious and taking the place of God, okay? Anytime you put someone in a position they are where they are perceived to be the person that has the knowledge of the Most High, that's dangerous. You never give a man that type of power. Man, woman. When I say man, I mean men, woman. You never give a human that type of power because they do not know what to do with it. That energy, it's too much. It is too much for a human being to fathom. That is why the omnipotent, the Most High, the person that you look up to, as the creator, that's why we say that they are all powerful, because that type of power to influence human beings and to influence their mindset and get them to do things that they normally would not do, that is dangerous. No, my people understand what it is that I'm saying. You can leave. Actually, I don't need you here. I'm good. So anytime a person, we actually were going through this man's history. So I think you came in during the middle of it. We're going through the man's history. We are. Let me just take the time real quick to drag this person before I block them. We are about 31 minutes into this video. What we have done so far, if you rewind it, we watched the charges on the news, what was going on, because unlike other people, what I do, I give people a history. I research before I talk about a topic, because I didn't know who this man was. I did not know who this man was. I never heard of him. I don't know who he is. Okay. So I had to do my research. I had to watch his interviews. I had to listen at some of these wild thought processes that he has. I had to listen to those. And I watched Tasha K's live because, like I said, thank you, Monica. Like I said, Tasha did a damn good job. She did a damn good job of dragging him. And I usually don't stand with Tasha and stand in agreement, but her video was on point. It was on point, and I really, think that what she said during that live, it was accurate. For people to be insinuating right out the gate that these people are lying, that the girl is lying, that the mother, this is absolutely how we do not protect our girls. We don't protect. Black women are the most undervalued, and unprotected species in the world. As soon as our women come out with allegations, they are automatically assumed to be lying for money. And it's like, well, hold up, give it a minute. Let's see what's going on before we just go on and say, oh, she's a liar. It's like, no, let's just stand with our sisters. Let's just stand with the children. Let's just stand behind them and let them know as a community, you're loved. Can we not do that for a change? Why do we always have to come out and say, oh, she's probably lying, they probably want money? Like, why do we have to do that? So I applauded Tasha K. I watched it. I thought her live was excellent. I think she did a great job of dragging him and, calling out the Black women and the Black community for not standing in agreement and solidarity with this young woman. I agree. And I absolutely agree with the narrative that we fail our girls. I believe that. I agree. And so I think that for once, as a Black community, we need to just come together and we need to just stand in solidarity. Now, if it comes out that this didn't happen, then it just didn't happen. But for once, let's just stand with our community and let's just be quiet and let's just wait and see. And let's not say, oh, she's a liar. Because in my book, when I watch this man, I believe it. I believe it. Just looking at him, And just watching his interview with Vlad, I was like, how can not anyone see that he is conning Vlad in this interview? He is absolutely trying to be charismatic. He all in one breath, he's saying that his mom had died, that he was told that the mom died, and then but then he found out later that the mom was alive because her brother was walking down the street and he seen him and said, "Oh, you're the perfect mix of your mom and your dad, so you must be my sister's son." Like, are you serious? And you can see and hear that Vlad is taken in. He's drawn in. So I can see how he can be a manipulate. If he can manipulate a journalist such as Vlad, you don't think that he can manipulate someone that doesn't even have that type of education level? Absolutely. And so you watch and you listen, and even the live that he just did, he's got things in here that he says. He says this. He says, well, during that interview, it was one last little point. He says that religion was put on the Black community every time we have been oppressed. He said, every time we've been oppressed, religion has been placed on Black folks. So what do you think he's doing? He finds women that are looking for money, looking for fame, looking to be with the influencer. He gathers them type of women up and does what? It puts his indoctrination on them. And then they feel as though as long as they agree with his teachings, they can live the life of luxury. While he will appear to look like a god, and he's got all this knowledge. And if oh wow, yeah, that makes sense what he said. So now he's taken the place of God in their life, because all they hear day in and day out and day in and day out are his teachings and his thoughts, and what he has surmised to be indoctrination from all these books that he has read. It's nothing that you can go get a book in a holy book or a religious book. No, it's nowhere. It's not written down anywhere. It's all stuff that he can make up at any given time. It's all coming from him. It's all coming from his mind. This is the problem with someone like a brother Polight, because they start off having good intentions, but then all that power that they gain from knowing that they can get people, when they see that they can get people to change their life, that they can get people to turn around from whatever they've been raised and whatever they believe, and they can get them to change to believe what they say is true. You don't think that kind of power sits with a person and they start to, it's too much power. And then they start to displace that energy and they start to displace that power. And now they're practicing sadistic things. And now that energy is being placed into manipulating young women, putting sexual pressure on young women. And now you're ejaculating on them. You find yourself in a hotel room, ejaculating yourself onto a young lady because you are out there. You are so mentally and far out there that the things you're doing, you feel you have the right. You feel that, you've gone so far and no one has stopped you. No one has stopped you. They see, oh my God, I can get away with this. Everything that I've been saying, no one stopped me. No one has stopped me. No one has stopped me from spreading all of this false information, from being a false prophet, from being a bearer of false light. Yes, it's the same thing Nature Boy did. And then what do? The next plan is isolation. Now they're isolating the people that are following them. The next thing will be to isolate, take them to either another country or another area or a house or whatever, to where so now they're alone and it's just them. And now you're in just their world. And now the ultimate danger comes, because now your health is being affected, because now they've got you completely isolated. Look what Nature Boy did. His stuff started, oh, he's conscious. Oh, he knows this, he knows that. To now he's all the way across the world in some damn foreign jungles with these women, and they're malnourished, they're malnutrition, they're having babies without doctors, they're out there in the woods, no medical attention, no nothing. They're sick, they're full of bugs, and when the girl came home, look how she looked when she came home to her father. Just a mess, because they have them isolated and they're out just putting their indoctrination on them. But then when you look at the people that they are putting, inflicting all of this on, but then look at them. They got on Versace or gold or dripped in the finest things and all of this, but the women look like shit. The women look nasty. The women look, the women are sick, or the women's having all these babies and they barefoot and pregnant, and, and it's like, but you out here riding around in Lamborghinis and you doing all this. You're so conscious, but yet you dripped out in full Versace. No one's paying attention to this. Usually people that are, conscious, they don't worry about material things. They're not into cars, jewelry, gold, and all these things. So you can see that all of this, it is manipulation to make money. So when he went live and he's so-called responding to, when everybody's like, oh, he responded to Tasha K, because I guess, Tasha wants to interview him and everything. And so he's basically saying, oh, well, when I was doing good, you guys, nobody wants to interview me. Nobody's reaching out for an interview. But when now that I'm doing bad and I got this case and all this, now everybody wants an interview. He said, when you're popular, no one wants to contact you. When you hear a story, now everyone wants to interview you. And then it's like, well, of course, because people want to know. You have conned so many people. You have you have had this persona that you are a champion for Black folks. So you should be the most unlikely person to be connected with anything like this. It's like, he sure is. He sure is. He absolutely is. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I said was, anytime you, and see, this is what gets me about people. I have watched 5%ers, Nations of Gods and Earths, and I know the doctrine, okay? And all of these religions, they put men before women. All of these man-made religions that are supposed to be conscious and they're supposed to be for Black people and Black power, it is always the common theme is that the Black man is God. The Black man is ahead of the whole situation, and the women should be running up the back. It should be like the men are in the front and the women are in the back, and you need to bow down. And if you don't, and if you want to sit here and say that that's not true, get out the chat now, because that is exactly what it is. The Israelites do it. The Hebrew Israelites do it. The Nations of Gods and Earths do it. The Islamic, I forget the, oh my God, the Sunni Muslims, they do it. I watch them in the city where I live. The Sunni Muslims, I watch them every day. They have their women walking behind them while they walk in front of them. The women have to lead up the rear. They have to walk behind the man. The man is walking in the front while the woman is walking in the back. All of these man-made religions and all these religions that with, where, oh, it's the black people are superior and all that. Their central teaching is that the black man is God, period. And that's how they manipulate. They manipulate because they put the man at the center of everything. And the man is supposed to be the one that has all the information, all the facts. You need to go to him for everything. So when you ever encounter something like that, that's dangerous. It is dangerous. And then you couple that with a person that their interest is really not in the uplifting of the community. Their interest is really self-serving. Oh, you're going to get situations like this happening every time because you put too much power on these people. They have no business having that type of authority or power. Anytime you put a person at the center of your life instead of God, you are asking for this type of behavior, period. And for those that are saying that he deserves, that he's innocent and proven guilty, fine. I have nothing. I don't have anything against that. But I'm standing with this young woman. I'm sorry. She's 14. I'm standing with her and her mother, period. I am sick of every time a black female comes out and says that they have been abused. We always have to have this. It always has to be, well, he's innocent until proven guilty. Well, how do you know that this person wasn't doing this? And how do you know this person? Let me tell you something. I have been a victim of sexual assault when I was a child, and I got put out of my house. My mother put me out. My mother put me out when I told my mother what happened to me. I got put out. I have never said this on a live stream before. I got put out of my house. Okay? So I'm not going to sit here and say that this woman is a liar, her and her daughter, because I understand how it feels to have family members accuse you of being a liar. Now, whether or not she's a liar, that's to be proven. But why don't we just for once in our life and for once in a black community, why don't we just stand in solidarity with this young lady until we find out what happened? Why don't we just stand? Because I'm going to absolutely tell you that stays with you. That stays with you this has stayed with me for my entire life. See, look at all of the victims in the chat. And I'm pretty sure, I'm sorry that happened to you. Look. It's common in the black community that black women are abused as children. They're abused by their stepfathers. They're abused by their uncles. They're abused. So we are to believe everyone just because they say so. You are speaking from an emotional place. Well, it's probably because I don't know if you've never been a person that has been abused as a child. That's an emotional burden to carry, and especially when adults around you tell you that you are lying, or people automatically assume that you're lying. That's an emotional burden, and that's a hard thing to carry. So I'm not saying that he's not innocent till proven guilty. He is. That's the way the law works in our community and in our world. However, if they are saying that they have DNA evidence, what more? What more? It's like if they are automatically, if they're saying that they have DNA evidence, I don't understand what it is that we're arguing. If this happened in February and they're just now serving him with this warrant in June, yeah, it takes about 4 to 6 months for DNA to, for DNA evidence. Look at all the victims. Look at this. Sweet Pea, I'm here. I'm on your side. My stepdad tried when police were called. My mom told me I was not worth her losing him over. So say nothing happened. I understand. That happens all the time. My mom, I believe my mom knew it was happening. And because she wanted him so badly, she chose to put me out, stay with him, and go on to have 2 children by him. So, these are the things that happen in our community. Sweet Pea is only saying that when allegations like this come out, it's usually, yes, yep, exactly. And it's usually our own community, that wants to say that the child is lying. And you got to understand, sometimes these things happen and the adults make the child say it was a lie. And then this person has to carry that their whole life, that they know that they were abused, and their own parent and the adults that were supposed to protect them made them say that this was a lie. And they got to carry that their whole life, that they knew that they were abused, but they had to recant the story. One, because somebody's career might be at stake, or, this person has an upstanding, position in the community. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of women. Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's a lot. Wow. Monica, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, it's really, and just our chat right here is a testament to that there are so many women. You have to understand the rule of evidence and the admissibility of evidence in a criminal case. You just can't take the police account without listen, Dre, we're not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I am going to take the position, and this is your, you can do that, but I'm going to do it. You don't have to, Drea, but I am. I'm choosing to stand with the victim, and I'm choosing to say that I'm just going to be silent about whether he's guilty or not. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying that I'm going to stand with her, but I'm not going to come out and say, well, maybe we want to just wait and see. I'm going to believe her first. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to believe her. And if it comes out that it's not true, well, then it's just not true. But I'm not going to convict the man. It's not on me to convict him. I'm not going to publicly convict him. What I'm publicly convicting him of is him being in a position of power of God. He's taking the place of God. I'm not going to allow anyone to take the place of God. And I feel as though when a person is in that type of position and they have that much power and that much energy, it is displaced. And when it's displaced, they start doing things, that are inappropriate, because it's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. That's it. Look, Polight has a track record of deception, and one of his so-called wives was his daughter with another woman. So I need folks that don't have info on the conscious community BS get informed. Yeah, he's not God, and that's what I'm saying. But when you have a person that is so-called conscious and they want you to look to them as though they have all the answers, and their indoctrination is, you need to listen to their indoctrination. It's all man-made. It's all it's made up. And you could say that the Bible is made up. You can say that all religions are man-made. You can say that. But when you want to take the the all-powerful and the omnipotent influence that a spiritual being has, and you want to put that onto a person, that's dangerous. Do you not get that? Do you not understand that? That is dangerous. That is opening up doors that you will have this type of activity, because that energy is too much. It is too much for a person. I don't know. I mean, that this might be going over people's head. This conversation might just be, you might not understand what I'm saying, and you just can't get it because it's going over your head. A person that has that kind of power to get 4 women to marry him, or if they're not legal marriages, but to get 4 women to be in a community with him, and they're all wives and they're sharing him and whatever. And then he's got these doctrinations that are man-made. But at the same time, you got handlers, you got a publicist, you have, he said on the live that the world don't owe him nothing. If he was to die right now, he had all the toys. He said he had all the toys, all the women. He said he had all the women he could ever want. He has all the toys he could ever want. He's been to over 30 countries. He said he had all of the finer things in life if he were to die right now. Well, my thing is, if you are so-called conscious, why are you so worried about having the finer things in life? Usually people that are conscious, and usually people that are standing for those type of causes, they're not wrapped up in influence. They don't have, this kind of car and that kind of car. And I've been to this place and I got this woman and I got that woman. No. So you have to look at the lifestyle and what he's saying, because what he's saying and the preaching and the teaching is what's getting the followers, which equals money. All of this is about money. Okay. This man is a master manipulator. And if the people that are in this chat that agree with him, you're manipulated by him. Because, honey, I watched him, and I watched the Vlad interview, and I watched everything that he said to Vlad, and I paid very close attention to his mannerisms. He went from the boyish look, the boyish grin, the boyish laugh, to a stone cold blank face. Period. No one said, I didn't say that. I didn't say being conscious meant being broke. I didn't say that. Like I just said, I know about conscious, so-called conscious. And what is conscious? Being conscious. What is that? Educated? Being educated? Don't confuse education with consciousness. People that are conscious are not manipulators, okay? They don't get people to do things that they don't want to do. Why do you have to be conscious, but you need a bunch of people behind you? Why can't you just be conscious and just be conscious? Why do you need 300,000 people? Or why do you need 4 wives? Why do you need people to bow down to you? Stop. I have been a part of 5 Percenters, Nation of Gods and Earths, and I know about consciousness. I know about it. I know 365 days of the week that I lost my train of thought, but I know that 365 days of the week, the Nation of Gods and Earths and the 5 Percenters, they believe all day and every day that the black man is God. Period. No, consciousness, he said he's conscious. He said it. So it's not me. He said he's conscious. I didn't say that. He said he's conscious. He said it. He said in the Vlad interview, he got conscious from reading books. So see, you need to go do your research, sweetheart. And now, bye. You're blocked. He said he's conscious. So don't come in my chat and don't drag me for words that someone else said. He said he's conscious. He said he got conscious after reading books. That's what he said. Go watch the Vlad interview. This is why people they could never drag me. They could never knock me off my square or knock me off my platform, because whenever I do a video about a topic that has nothing to do with me, I do my research. This man has multiple interviews where he said he's conscious. He didn't say he's a 5%er. He didn't say he's a nation of gods and earths. He didn't say he's a God. He didn't say the black man is God, which that's what the 5%ers believe. They believe that the black man is God, okay? They believe that the woman represents the earth and that the children are the stars, sun, moon, and stars, okay? See, don't even get me started because I know the 120. I know 120. I know 120 as well, because I have been a part of that. So I don't never speak about anything that I don't know. That's called ignorance. You never speak on something that you don't know. That makes you ignorant, and you will sound ignorant. So I only speak on things that I know. And I know that this man is man-made. His thoughts and his teachings and doctrinations are man-made. They are not even from the 5% culture. Okay? Because if they were, he would be speaking from the 120. He will be speaking from that. And I know 120. Yes. I have also studied plus lessons and plus degrees. So I know all of these things. I don't speak on things that I don't know. So this whole brother Polight, he's not even affiliated with the nation of gods and earths. This is just him. This is just him. This is just him. This is just his doctrination. And anytime a person that does not have knowledge of self, that shit is dangerous. If you don't have knowledge of self and you are attempting to put out information on other people without being able to displace that energy in a proper way, you're going to have situations like this. You're going to have it because you don't understand the responsibility of that energy. You do not understand the responsibility of that energy. That's some big time energy. Anytime you want to stand and say that you're conscious and you're giving out all this information to these women and these people that are following you and they watching your lives and they're watching your videos and they're listening to the shit that you're putting down, that's a lot. All that energy is coming back to you. Yes, it is very dangerous. So see, like I said, a lot of people if you can't understand this live and the topics, it's because it's going over your head. And you will be the type of person to be manipulated by a brother Polight. You will be the type of person to be drawn in by what he's putting down, because he ain't putting down nothing that it has not already been said by other people. It's just that he is able to come in contact with people. I understood what you were saying. I understood what you were saying. And anytime you come in contact with people that are ignorant, that are vulnerable, and you start putting down and spitting this little so-called knowledge that you got, it draws them in, and it gets them to, do things that they normally would not do. So I choose to stand with the victim and her mother at this point. I'm not saying that this man is guilty or not guilty. However, I'm standing with the victim. That doesn't mean that I'm, saying that he's guilty. I said I choose to stand with the victim. That means I'm standing with you. I have nothing to do with Brother Polight. I don't give a damn about him. I'm standing with the victim. I am standing in solidarity with her mother and her. I'm not saying nothing about, the subject matter. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. But I'm standing with the mother and the child. So see, this is what you guys have to understand. When you say stand with the victim, that doesn't mean that you're against the person that they're accusing. You're just saying that I'm standing with her. I'm going to stand with her. I'm going to give her the energy that she needs. And if it comes out that this was untrue, then it just was untrue. Doesn't take nothing away from Brother Polight, because he's going to still have his money. He's going to still be who he is. However, this is going to damage that child, because whether it's true or not true, she got to live with this. She got to live that this was in the press. This is all over the world. And all news stations are talking about it. So you don't think that this is going to affect her? You don't think people know who she is? You don't think that people at, in her community and people around her? So this is what's wrong with social media. You guys think just because you don't know her or y'all aren't around the victims, oh, it doesn't affect your life because you don't know her. Well, there's people around her that know her and they know who she is. They know who her mom is. And this is going to affect her. So I think this is sad. I think it's a sad situation, but the world and, gave Brother Polight, social media world gave Brother Polight this platform because unfortunately, anyone that comes across the airwaves, YouTube, Instagram, and that's saying anything remotely that is deemed to be educated, oh, he said so. Oh, that brother got education. Listen how he put his words together. It's all about manipulation. If you listen at these sermons, his so-called knowledge, it is all stuff that you heard before. It's all stuff that has never been said. Anything that has been said before. It's just been put down different. I repeat, anything that has been said before. It's just put down different. I repeat, anything that has been said before. It's just put down different. There is nothing that has not ever, we never heard those words before. So it's just that when you get a person that's charismatic and they are able to manipulate, it's a whole process that goes into it. It's a persona. It is the way they might pronounce their word. And then he got the New York accent, he got the New York accent going on. He's ugly, but at the same time, he's got a little boyish grin and a little smile. So he's charismatic. So, he gonna do well on social media because he's saying stuff that is not popular. So everybody, ooh, what he talking about? Ooh. And it's like, boy, I heard that. I heard that in 1990. I heard that in 1992. I heard that in 96. I heard that in 2000. I heard that in 2005. I heard that. It's just that it's not popular to be out on the forefront. So when you got someone that's doing that, they're gonna draw people to them. So some people just have that draw with them where they're able to just draw people. So the problem with a problematic Brother Polight is that people believe the shit he's putting down. I don't believe it. People believe the shit that he was putting down, and that's why he's able to manipulate people, and he's able to be as successful as he is. What the hell he need a publicist for? You conscious and you care about the Black community. What do you need a publicist for? You're nowhere. You're just on social media because if you were such this famous person, I would have knew who he was. I didn't even know who he was. So I asked somebody today, like, who is this Brother Polight? And then they told me, like, girl, he's somebody off of social media. And then I went on and did my research. And I was like, oh my God, this man is a manipulator. This man is a manipulator. Hey, AT2. Oh, honey, I see the problems that you had going on over there, too. I told y'all about that girl, but y'all didn't want to believe me. I told y'all. I told y'all about that girl. But I want to holler at you, too, about some things, AT2, because I'm looking for a male co-host to do my sweet and sour sauce show. And I would like for the co-host to already have a YouTube channel. So I'm going to DM you. But you guys, let's just stand with the victim, okay? Here on the Sweet Pea Diaries, we're going to stand with the 14-year-old and her mother, all right? And if it does come out that it was, it wasn't true or whatever, then we'll deal with that then. But for right now, let's just stand with the victim, okay? All right? So you guys, I love you. Thank you so much. I know, Miss Gardner. I know. But Sean is on a bigger level. He's on a bigger platform. AT2. Sean is on a bigger platform, and he got it going on over there. I'm not as big as Sean. I'm at the level Sean was when I first came to YouTube. Sean was at this level, and then he just blew up. I watched him blow up. So, he's getting up there with Armand and the child. So yeah, Sean is doing good things. So I gotta stay with the little people. I gotta stay with the little people. I can't afford to pay Sean. Thank you. Oh, thank you for your subscription. But yes, thank you so much, you guys. Let's just stand with the victim. Like I said, if it comes out that this is not true, then we will deal with that then, and we will discuss it then. But for now, you guys, make sure you keep your eyes open. Do not be fooled by these people dressed in a brother Polight child. Anything that has been said before. Anything that they put down, we don't believe shit they put down, honey. We don't believe shit they put down. Y'all better stop believing people like a brother Polight. I'm appalled that this man was able to con this many people with his ugly ass. When I seen him, I said, oh my God, how was he able to con this many people? Let me get up on in here and tell my people this man is a con artist. I love you guys. You guys have a blessed night. Love you. Bye.